Back to you, Stan. Kilo 7, Sierra Uniform November. This is KJ7BJT.
Well, I don't have any pictures. Gale was a ham. He was actually the Elmer that helped me get started. His call was K7VPK, and he is now a silent key. I think he's been a silent key for a couple of years, but anyway, and he used to climb his tower, and he put that cubicle quad on top of his 3-element horizontal HF beam, and he was up doing it one night, and I said, Gale, it's pitch dark out there, not using my brain, and he said, it's the same to me 24 hours a day. He said, I like climbing up here now because it's cool. Yeah, the air temperature was cool. He liked that, but yeah, he was totally blind. He was a totally amazing man. And Gordon got to meet him and chat with him quite a bit also. Back to you.
QSL, thank you, Stan. That's good to hear. Being an old fart myself, I love to hear those stories. But in anyway, K7SUN, I'd love to see if you have any photographic evidence, but that's okay. I appreciate the fact that you stepped in here and reminded us that there are people out there who just extend beyond their capability, or what you and I would regard, I should say, with their capabilities, and just go beyond that. It just encourages and reinforces the idea that the human element is so much more than we perceive. But in any case, Stan, thank you for that. I will back out here and let you continue your QSO with Gordon, but thank you for stepping in and letting us know a little bit about that. I will turn it back to K7NNV, because I have to go answer a call from Mother Nature. Chief, remind everybody what a KED call is all about. Over.
All right. And real quick, Stanley, two things. I'll take care of the first one. When did you find out about Gale? I've been trying to trace that down. I've talked to hams up in Helena, Montana, who might have heard him. And, of course, how long ago did he pass?
I'm not exactly sure, but when I was up at Wall Canyon, and I checked into the farm net, and I told them that Gale was... I've known Gale for a long, long time. He was my Elmer. And the net control of the farm net is who told me he had passed on, Gordon. So I have no way to know officially if that's true, but that's what the net control of the farm net told me.
Well, I'm going to probably believe that, because I have, it's been a couple of years now that I've been asking around different people, and just nobody has heard of him. Of course, I'm pretty sure his call expired, didn't it?
I believe it did.
Yeah, I kind of expected the worst, but I didn't get any kind of thing, but that's too bad to hear. And another thing, I had a guy connect on Echolink, and if you'll give me a minute, I'm going to tell you who it was. And stand by. K7NNV.
That's me. 220 over.
1,000 watts.
You're 20 over in my car.
you got a good antenna, good setup there.
You did, but you actually hit 20, almost 30 over us a second ago in the car.
You got a pretty good antenna then.
So you heard me okay?
Oh yeah, you're coming in real good.
They hit 30 over that. Yeah, but it's almost normal, but they're running a 30-meter loading coil with a capacitor hat.
Okay, you just hit S9 there.
Oh, excellent. That breaks too close. It's still tough.
You need to get a patent on that antenna.
Yeah, what's the picture of this one? I've got a very strange configure. I've got a capacity hat, got a hot rod on top of that on a 30-meter coil.
And pending?
60-meter coil still. The AA6W, Dale still in there? Oh yeah, I'm here, I hear you.
Yep, he's there. You're just not hearing him, Don.
Okay, I don't want to talk over him. I'll wait for him to, I'll wait a little bit.
Go ahead and close it down, Don. We're done. Yeah, Dale's just kicking it back and forth with Scott there. You're not hearing him, no problem. Go ahead and shut her down, and we'll let you close it out.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. This is Don, AA6W. I'll close the late monitoring session of the Western Public Service System. Western Public Service System accepts no responsibility for actions or comments made before the net is opened or after it is closed. This net will resume operation tomorrow at 6 p.m. local time, West Coast, 1800 hours Pacific time. Thanks again, everybody, for checking in. Those who handle traffic, and thank you to those who just listened. Thanks to all my relays, Chuck and Greg and Mike, Dave, sure appreciate it. Everybody have a good weekend. Stay healthy. The frequency is now open for general amateur radio use. I was going to talk to Chuck real quick. Chuck, are you there?
I am here, sir.
Can we go over to Simplex, Chuck? 2-meter Simplex. What do you have? 14754?
You want to go to 14754?
Yeah, I think you have that in your radio. I'll mention a couple things to you on Simplex.
Let me look at my chart. Hang on. Yes, I do. Okay, I know which frequency it is.
Okay, I'll talk to you over there. Then if you want to come back here, you can. I just want to mention one or two things real quick on 2 meters.
Roger. QSY.
All right, gentlemen, have fun. 73 AA6W. The frequency's open. Maybe go ahead, Greg. Enjoy.
All right, catch you later, Don. Good job again. You did a great job tonight. You're getting the ropes. You're getting the hang of it. Get that laptop squared away, and you're in good shape.
Okay, I sure appreciate it, Greg. I will. I'll make sure I have a solid file. Thanks, Greg, and thanks for your help. You have a good weekend.
You too. Talk to you later, Don.
All right, AA6W73.
WA6RWN, KC6USM. USM on the brick.
No, I'm on the 120 watt or 125 watt Yaesu FT990.
Oh, wow. Hey, you sound like you're on the brick. You got the propagation's in pretty good shape tonight.
Yeah, I heard you at 1 watt. I heard you up here.
That's pretty good. Probably not Q5, but you could tell I was there, huh?
Well, you're coming in about a 5.8. How's that sound?
I'll take it. I guess the loop is oriented just right for north-south.
Yeah, it's good. I just got the NEC today.
The what?
NEC radio.
Oh, what is that?
It's a hybrid. It's 160 to 10.
Is that a NEC? That's like decades old.
Yeah, that's 1975 to 78.
Yeah. Where did you pick that up at?
On eBay.
Is that tube or is that solid state?
It's a hybrid. Receiver's transistor and the tubes are transmit.
Okay, so that's like the Yaesu, like the 101s. What are they running, like 6146s or what?
6 JF6s and 6 DQ5s.
Oh, 6, that's a good, 6 what? What was the final?
JS6.
So what is that, 200 watts or so?
It's rated about 280 input, about 125 out.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Is that a pair of them or a single?
Two.
All right, then those are the ones. Is that the ones that run like 800 volts or so on the plates?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, get some of that vintage stuff. Keep that vintage stuff in line. Keep it running. That's some good equipment.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm just trying to get it to work, but I did put a piece of wire on the SO239, which of course is loose. Oh God, that's fun. And I gotta make sure that's discharged and everything before I even get in there.
Top of the well.
Yeah, that'd definitely be very handy. So, well, the generator's going to be easy because I'm just going to drop the back door and roll it, grab it by its handle and roll it in the trailer.
Well, that's what I have my Champion. It's on a roll-away type thing that I bought from Harbor Freight, strapped down, and we just push it up the ramp into the back of the trailer between the two chairs. And that's where it stays while we travel. And it's easy just to roll it out, and it rolls right onto the ground unless it's in sand or something. And then Sandy and I can both maneuver it once it's on the ground. But picking it up might be a whole nother, ball of wax. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's what you wanted.
KJ7BJT, apologies to Gordon. I thought I was making a joke there about the NSA and tracking what you were going on there, but it sounds like you guys are talking about some serious moving of heavy equipment there, QSL?
Well, generators. And yeah, I used to have, I've got a dual band router, and one of them, the label on it says NSA monitoring point. I don't know if anybody sees that when they fire up their, looking to connect with their router or whatever, when they see that, what they think.
Roger. I remember back in the good old days, this would have been about the mid-70s when I was in the service, the Naval Security Group, which cryptologic technicians were a part of, were indirectly reporting to the director of the NSA through the deputy director, who was a naval flag officer. So yeah, I kind of thought about that when I was responding back to you. In any case, I'll stand aside, Gordon, let you make some useful QSO. This is KJ7BJT.
Well, I have to give you a bit of decent, I guess that's not trivia information. The actual second ship that I was on, well, the first ship that got underway, the first ship that I was on did not get underway. I wasn't on it long enough to go to sea on it. But the second one was the USS Rowan, DD-782 out of San Diego. And the captain of that ship was Commander Stansfield Turner. And I've got an 8x10 black and white photo, of all my, whatever it is I brought from the service and all that stuff. But I didn't learn this till after I retired out of the Navy. But he went on to become one of the directors of the FBI or the one of them intelligence groups. I forget what. It might have been the FBI. I'll have to look it up and see what it says he was the head of.
Roger. I very much am familiar with Stansfield Turner. He, in fact, he became sort of the commander of the United States Second Fleet, and later after that, he was the Supreme Allied Commander of NATO in Southern Europe. And also, he was the director of the Central Intelligence under the Carter administration. So I know the person, have immense respect for him, and frankly, probably was an honor for you to be on a ship that was commanded by him. The best I could hope for or compare with was I was heloed over to the USS Sarsfield during our deployment in the Mediterranean in 1975. which I will add was during the Miss America pageant, which I missed on USS Kennedy because I was heloed over to the USS Sarsfield, DD 837, in order to fix a piece of crypto gear that was not properly performing in their van. Vans were like radio cars, box cars, if you will, that were dropped onto a destroyer when it went out to whatever deployment. They were having problems with their crypto gear, so they heloed me over from Kennedy to Sarsfield, and I missed the whole USA, or the U.S., whatever the heck they call that beauty pageant, U.S. Miss America pageant folks who went on the USO tours. I missed that whole thing on Kennedy because I was over on Sarsfield trying to repair a piece of equipment that was not, having any problems. It was just a problem, I guess, with their antenna situation. But, Stansfield Turner, really stand-up guy, and frankly, I wish he was representative of the people we have in power these days. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Bravo Juliet Tango.
Well, Jim, you were faster than my internet skills because you came up with it before I could bring it up on Wikipedia or whatever that was. But I thought that was interesting because, of course, I did not find that out until after I retired, and somehow his name came up in something. I went, Stansfield Turner. I recognized that name. I went rummage around all my paperwork and everything, and lo and behold, same guy. Yeah. Anyways, that was just a little bit of I guess you'd call it military trivia in Gordon's case. K7 NNV. Stanley, I was going to ask you something. Bruce is still back in Missouri, right?
No, I did not know that. And I sent that as a text, Gordon, so the picture might have been too big.
Oh, well, I wasn't looking at my phone. I was looking at my email. I'll go get my phone and look at that in just a minute. He's been there, I would say, pretty close to 3 weeks to a month. His brother-in-law, Mary, his wife's sister's husband, is terminal. I mean, he's on his way out. And they actually got him now. He's with what they call an in-home hospice, which is the next step is, in the hospice itself. Once he's transferred there, it's pretty much the death knell, no pun intended. But yeah, he says that about every 3 days, the hospice nurse has to come in and up his medications, and he's on some serious pain meds, and they double them each time they come in. So he's pretty lethargic and all that kind of stuff. And I think Bruce will most likely, he wants to come home, but I think he will most likely stay there. Especially if the progression, speeds up somewhat.
I know how that goes. So, I just watched Thurman go through that. It still took. Thurman was pretty tough, Gordon. It still took him about
day one.
I don't know, 4 months before he passed away. But that's not good. I've heard him refer to it. So I think he's the one that sold insurance. So I've heard Bruce talk about him quite a few times.
Yeah, I don't know. And Jim, repeat your last transmission, please.
I just wanted to say there, K7NNB, condolences on your friend Sekulov Thermodynamics, which basically says we're going from an ordered entropy state to a disordered entropy state, basically going from all is good to crap. It's something that weighs on all of us, so condolences to you. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. This is KJ7CJT.
Well, the good thing is he's not dying. It's his brother-in-law, and this has been coming on for some years. He's been treated with chemo over and over again. It would go into remission, then come back, and this time the chemo didn't work, and all that kind of stuff. So I feel sorry for him. I wouldn't want to be in his position. I don't handle it. Stan, do you remember Tony K7AEK in Battle Mountain?
Yeah, I sure do, Gordon.
Well, you know, he had lung cancer for the longest, ever since I known him, whatever, and it progressed and got pretty worse. The thing is, he wouldn't stop smoking. You know, so here he is with an oxygen mask, still puffing on a cigarette. But it got to the point where they put him on chemo, then he just said, I can't handle it. You know, take me off of the chemo, and we'll see what happens. And within a week, he was gone. And that was really sad. And we were down in Tonopah on the project when we got the call from his wife Frankie about that. So you know, I'm hoping that I get run over by the railroad train, or the meteor falls on my head, or I go in my sleep. I sure don't want to have to go like that.
KJ7BJT.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
So Gordon, my expectation is he'll live to 110, so I can tell my wife that, hey, K7NNV is out there, and he's just spry, and he's just cooking along, so you don't have to worry about me, and I'm going to be really disappointed if you succumb any sooner than, say, 110. So keep it going for me so that I don't have to tell my kids and grandkids, oh, your grandfather is heading for the fertilizer stage of his life because K7NNV decided to quit on me. Over.
Well, Jim, when I decided to retire, I got my retirement date. I had just a little less than 23 years in, and the statistics at that time were retirees that did 20 years or more had a lifespan of approximately 10 years after retiring. Well, I made it by the 10 years, and I said, well, I guess I'm on borrowed time. So let's see, what was I? I don't even know how old I was. So I've kept it up. I don't think I'm going to be as fortunate in the next 20 or 30 years that I was in the first. If I can make it for 15 more years, which would put me at 86. I'm 76, so 86 and 5. Let's say 14 years. That makes it at 90, because I won't be one of these people that's that my wife has to take care of. So, I don't know. I'm hoping for 30 years, but a realistic thing. If I make it for 10 more years, I'll be happier than a clam. I say that I've never seen a happy clam, but I know there's a saying for that.
Roger. Well, Senior Chief, you have a responsibility to this young petty officer. I say that because I want to point to people who are out there and pushing the envelope and making an example for younger folks like me. And so I applaud your efforts, and I make it endemic or a responsibility on you to set the example for us younger folks. This is KJ7BJT.
And by the way, Stanley, I had a VA's doctor appointment here the day before yesterday. And of course, my primary care provider was Dr. Carlson, and he informed me that as of next month, he is fully retired.
Well, I've had two retire on me, so you just have to find a new one, Gordon. And as long as they keep retiring, it just means we're getting older and doing great.
Yeah, well, apparently he was in civilian practice in Fallon here for like 30 years. Then he shut it down, went to work for the VA here in Fallon. And I know he's been with the VA here about 10 years. I've been with him 7. And, I got introduced to the lady doctor who was going to take his place. He introduced me, said her name, and I went, okay. And her name was mentioned again today at a phone conference that I had with Reno VA. And my wife Sandy went, what's your name? It's some god-awful name, but if she's even happy
and so we're kind of
Carlson, I'll be happier than a clam.
Well, way back when he was in private practice here, Gordon, I taught his son. He had a younger son that he had a messed up hand. He'd got it in a bicycle chain. He's a really nice kid, but he was about 12 years old, and I taught him to fly RC airplanes. And boy, he took to that like a duck takes to water. I mean, I had him flying on his own after 2 days, so I'm very familiar. I used to go pick him up, drop him off. I never had Dr. Carlson for a physician, but I knew the family really, really well.
Well, I tell you what, I have nothing but admiration for him, even though he had dual citizenship. Did you know that he was also a Canadian citizen?
I did. He showed up here about the same time that Dr. Reitnauer showed up here, and he had dual Canadian citizenship also.
Dave, I hope they don't know something we should know.
Anyway, Gordon, I'm going to get off here, go see what Lori's doing, try to catch her before she nods off on me.
All right, well, give Lori a hug for us to tell her I said hi, and Sandy said hi, and yeah, I got everything working here, so I'm back on 415 with the Crossbander. So hopefully I'll hear people when they come on and get a chance to chat with them. Stanley, take care. Have a great evening. Glad you were on tonight. Always enjoy having you out here and talk to you. And we might also hear Jeff this weekend. He's back home here in Fallon for the weekend, so we may hear him. Stanley, take care, my friend, and we'll catch up with you later. And stay safe. K7SU.
And they started doing some spud stuff, and holy cow, I'll tell you, on that sandy ground, it's just a cloud of dust going up about 400 feet in the air today. It's so doggone dry.
Yeah, what were they cutting? Barley or something for grain?
No, he was combining wheat. He puts in all wheat.
Yeah, I was going to say, barley's smoked. It's kind of popular these days. Yeah. I picked up my cat today and kind of gave her a little nuzzle and smelled her, and God, she smelled like she'd been camping. And she has been. Yeah. So can you still buy marshmallows at the local store? I don't think so. Air filters, Try to find an air filter for your air conditioner. They're all bought up.
For ages and ages, and Stan was born and raised here at Fallon. Roger, sounds like you.
We can turn that.
In the Silicon Valley, right? If you were a ham, you were well respected back in those days, but not so much anymore. But I remember, if you were like, yeah, I'm into amateur radio,
Man, it was like, you know, they looked at you like you knew something.
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, I didn't have anybody around that I knew was a ham, so I never got that perspective. But yeah, I can understand it. You know, later, you know, high school and whatnot, I picked up on that. But yeah, let's see who else. I don't think. I guess Scott's the only other one that's still listening in or eating or something.
Oh boy, that was good. I just finished.
Oh, there he is.
Did I tell you, Weldon, that amateur radio led me into a job?
Well, that's great.
So when I worked for Atari, the engineer,
My phone and Cushman. And while he was at the dock,
I told him the story, and he figured I was just full of crap. And he says, but he got there to pay the thing. He says, you see that guy over there? He says, yeah. He says, if we watched that guy, he played a seal for about an hour yesterday and then got the fish back. It was...
Hey, you never know. It's part of. They like to prep. It's part of prepping.
They like to be prepared.
Yeah, so anyway, he's really into getting that 2 meter hooked up so he can listen to everybody.
Distinctly hearing quite a different sound from you, like even in production, and it makes me really excited to see what you'll do next.
Well, cool, thank you. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't know yet, but yeah.
The last time we spoke, you came in for Waiata Anthems, and we had a beautiful conversation because it felt like you'd just sort of come through this amazing experience learning te reo, and you'd sort of then connected with your Māori side. Has that grown and developed more?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the awareness in the world is a really interesting time, because what's happening in America really, you know, people are protesting about, you know, systemic racism, and I think, you know, we have that here too, you know. It's and just really learning more about that deeply has been a real journey.
At the tone, 4 hours, 34 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
And burn care is so limited. If you research it now, burn units are across the United States at a rapid rate. And plus, burn care, Jerry and Debbie, it's not just a couple days in a burn unit. The longest burn patient I ever had was 6 months. and so the longevity of burn patients as well. But just reflecting back on that day of how under-resourced we were for the possibility of all of the injuries. Now we have very proud to say we have a 16-bed burn unit in the state of Kentucky. University of Louisville is the only burn unit in the state of Kentucky. But, you know, it's still only 16 beds, and there's some states that don't even have burn units. We get them transferred from out of state.
Well, Teresa...
So it's just a reason of that.
Go ahead if you had something to finish.
No, I don't.
Well, I'm just kind of getting chills here as I'm listening to you because I have never suffered any severe burns, but I have seen, you know, on TV and news and, of course, in movies and so forth, what that looks like. And Debbie always says, you know, teachers and nurses are among her favorite people, the ones she is most grateful for, and I echo that as well. And I can just imagine, just like sometimes up to 6 months it takes to recover from this. And I can just imagine the care, the compassion, the empathy, the patience, the heartfelt longing for healing that you and your colleagues in
Matthew 24:14, we see a clue, I think an important clue, where Jesus is saying to his disciples, after the good news of the kingdom will be announced or proclaimed throughout the world, throughout this whole habitable, as it were, as a testimony to all the nations.
Whiskey 6 Tango, Route 66. OCQ, Route 66 on the air, Whiskey 6 Tango, Rover Station number 2. Route 66 on the air, Whiskey 6 Tango, Rover Station number 2, calling CQ, CQ, Whiskey 6 Tango. Hello CQ, CQ, Route 66, this is Whiskey 6 Tango. Yeah, we are operating a Rover station for Route 66 on the air. I didn't get your whole call. Whiskey 6, go ahead.
Yep. Does he have the green there? You stop for a green? Welcome, everybody. If you're joining us live on abc7.com and our ABC7 LA app, Chris Christie up in Air 7 HD over a police pursuit in the city of Los Angeles. West LA police chasing a Ford F-150. It's a slow-speed pursuit. A suspected DUI driver behind the wheel has been stopping for red lights as well as green lights. And you see, once again, rolling through the green light at 3rd Street, eastbound 3rd Street, just past Rossmore. Switching lanes here. This has been going on for the last several minutes. There are several black and whites right behind the suspect. LAPD's airship joining the pursuit just a few minutes ago. The possibility of a pit maneuver very likely here, as the speeds are very low, and they would obviously love to get this person off the road as swiftly as possible. There has reportedly already been one traffic collision. Unclear on the severity there, but he kept on rolling and is again making his way towards Koreatown. Again, stopping at another intersection here, wondering if he's going to bring this to an end here or just continue the erratic stops and goes as he meanders through this part of Los Angeles. There are several LAPD divisions in pursuit here, West LA as well as LAPD's Wilshire division involved in this pursuit. You can see 4 black and whites and a motor unit. Doors popping open on those LAPD cruisers as they are prepared to execute a felony stop if he indicates he's ready to turn the vehicle off or put it in park. But we see he is continuing to go through these intersections here very slowly, speeds anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour. Unclear whether there's anybody in that passenger seat. Can you see, Rob? I can't tell whether there's anybody in there. We know there's at least one, obviously the driver behind the wheel there. It's a crew cab, so there's the possibility that there may be multiple occupants inside the vehicle, but at this point we only know of the driver.
Okay.
Okie doke. All right, we are traveling now southbound on Western Avenue at 6th Street. And it looks like he may be on the cell phone. Yeah, he is definitely on his phone. Driver with his phone to his ear and continuing southbound on Western Avenue at Wilshire. Lots of tall buildings here, lots of underground parking garages here. For now, though, it looks like he's just rolling through, cruising southbound on Western Avenue. Again, this is a suspected DUI driver behind the wheel of this Ford F-150, black in color. Again, we count at least 4 black and whites in pursuit here. The primary unit there not giving him much distance to play with. You can see 2 motor officers in the back there. The pit maneuver, I believe, has been authorized here. So if they see an opportunity and they feel it's appropriate, I think that's a good possibility in this case. But right now he's actually traveling a little too slow for a pit, and he's stopping for these intersections again. He's got the red light here. Want to go ahead and remind you, now's a great time if you're watching on your cell phone to go ahead and take it over to the big screen. We are broadcasting live on our ABC7 app on Apple TV, Fire TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, as well as Android TV at the moment, so you can go ahead and enjoy this pursuit from the comfort of your living room, and we will bring you all the action on the big screen as well. Of course, if you're out and joining us on our ABC7 app, welcome once again. 9:45 on a Friday night, and we have a pursuit here in Koreatown. Started in West LA. Looks like the driver of this pickup truck now pulling over, and he's hanging out. He's hanging his arm out the window there, almost a little bit of a fake out there. Looked like he was thinking about giving up, pulling over, pulled up right behind a parked car, and is now back on Western Avenue, continuing southbound on Western, coming up on West 8th Street. Appears to be a joyride again. The driver reportedly under the influence of something. Once again, stopping for a red light. Thank you. Pickup truck continuing at a very slow rate of speed here, rolling through the intersection once again. You notice there is not a whole lot of traffic in this part of town right now, and he's really coming to another random stop. We've seen a lot of random stops here just in the last couple of minutes. Once again, LAPD ready to execute that felony stop. The driver, or the doors of those cruisers popping open now as those officers get into position. And once again, he's going to hit the gas pedal, this time rolling into a gas station. Once again, we're on the corner of Western Avenue and 8th Street here in Koreatown. The driver of a black Ford F-150 pulling into this gas station, possibly showing signs of giving himself up. We saw just a moment ago, pulled behind a parked car, decided to keep it going, and now has rolled into this gas station. The driver's side door popping open there, his hands up in the air, and it looks like he is ready to give up, but he is actually walking away from police. That is not a good idea. He is holding something in his hand. It looks like his cell phone, putting the cell phone down on the ground.
Bravo, Mike, your turn to make a call.
This is Whiskey 6 Officer Bravo, Bravo. Mike in California, up for grabs.
76 OBP up for grabs.
N7XD, W6BNY, thank you, Dean. Line number 8, Whiskey 6, Foxtrot, Uniform Victor. Marvin, your turn.
The wrong thing to do in this situation, but he does look like he is ready to surrender nonetheless. The driver, wearing a burgundy hoodie, has his arms and hands in the air, has exited the vehicle, and is communicating with those officers. They are clearly giving him some direction. He appears to be complying at this point. And we can see from this view that it does not appear there's anybody in that passenger seat. So it does appear from my vantage point, that the driver looks like he was most likely alone in the vehicle. They're going to have to clear that vehicle once they take him into custody here. The driver now on his hands and knees, now prone out, laying flat on his face on the sidewalk, hands spread out, and they will approach him here in the next minute or two and take him into custody. The driver going on quite a joyride through West LA, reportedly under the influence of something, and it looks like this pursuit is coming to a peaceful resolution once again at the corner of Western Avenue and 8th Street in Koreatown. The handcuffs are on, and he will be taken downtown. And we'll see if they clear this. Once again, if you're just joining us, the end of a police pursuit here in Koreatown. The driver of that Ford F-150 pulling into a gas station, giving himself up, now proned out on the ground as LAPD prepares to take that suspect into custody. We do understand that there was a possible accident, a traffic collision caused by the driver further west of here. We don't have any details on that crash, but he continued on and engaged in a slow-speed pursuit through West LA into K-Town.
Kilo November 4, Dewitt, Quebec, Foxtrot. The station's calling you. I don't know if you're using NetLog or not, but it doesn't matter. His call sign, Kilo Delta 7, Quebec, Bravo, Bravo. Kilo Delta 7, Quebec, Bravo, Bravo, and he is in the state of Washington. He did receive your signal report, so stand by, Larry, and I'll have him send you a signal report, okay?
That's a Roger. KN4JQF.
Okay, Bill, go ahead and send the signal report to Alabama.
I got that 44 Magnum. And you are 35.
And that is a Roger contact. And Ned, I'm going to take one of my calls now. Larry in Alabama, thank you for coming to the net. Kilo November 4, Dewitt, Quebec, Foxtrot. This is Net Control, Whiskey 6, Papa, November Yankee. Larry, you're a 5959 in North Dakota, Roger.
That's a Roger, Mac. You're also 59 in Alabama. You're doing real good. Got a real good signal on you down here. 59 in Alabama.
Okay, thank you very much for the also 59, Larry. Can I get a Roger, Matt?
That's a Roger.
Roger, contact WA610. Thank you for that, Wayne. Line number 10, November 7, X-Ray, Golf, and Club. Dean, your turn for a call.
Okay, Victor Echo 7, Lima Sierra Tango, Randy in British Columbia, picked up November 7, X-Ray, Golf, and Club, I've done about 5 bucks behind. You never got me over, sir.
Big Echo 7, Lima, Sierra Tango, Randy, you're getting
for a takeoff from Mars.
Cool. 27.
Are you normal?
Number 0442. Number 27. Next is 0444. It's England, America 2, Whiskey 217. Call sign I'm sorry. The call sign is Echo America 2 Whiskey 217. The call sign is Echo Alpha 2 Whiskey. The number is 217. The call sign Echo Alpha 2 Whiskey. Number is 217. Next is 0451. 0451. Italy 2 Sierra 304. Call sign is Italy 2 Sierra. Italy 2 Sierra. Italy 2 Sugar. What is it you need? Call sign is Italy 2 Sierra. Italy 2 Sierra. I'm losing you. What is the question? What is the fill? The last is 0451. Italy 2 Sierra 304. Like QSL, your QSL?
Picture being fulfilled in your ear. My name is Brother Sticker. My contact address for you to write a letter, send your support, you just address your letter to The Overcomer, Post Office Box 691 in Walterboro, South Carolina, in the United States of America. That's Walterboro, 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 South Carolina, and the zip code is 29488. Our contact telephone number that you can call any hour of the day, 24 hours a day, you just dial U.S. code 1.
You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now. As of 54 days out, the globalist child molesting devil worshippers know they're in trouble and they know Trump's going to win a landslide. They're saying they're going to contest the election and plunge the country into a war. And they're throwing hack attacks at InfoWars, dirty tricks, attempts to shut us down. It's incredible. That's why now more than ever, your financial support at InfoWarsStore.com is critical. It's what keeps us in the game. We've only got a few months of backup. If money wasn't coming in, we'd be shut down. That's not good. We need to have extra money in our coffers so we expand in this home stretch, not just contract. We're winning, but these scumbags aren't going to give us the victory without a fight. Right, we're going to step up at InfoWarsStore.com. We've got free shipping on a bunch of our best-selling items, a bunch of new items that came back in stock. We've got privacy pockets for your phones, don't track you, great supplements, books, films, t-shirts, and so much more. Get prepared to fund the InfoWars at InfoWarsStore.com. God bless you all.
Thank you for listening to your station for news and information. This is Worldwide Christian Radio, WWCR, Nashville, Tennessee, USA.
Dr. Dick Beggars is taking over in about 10 minutes. I've got a few final things I want to hit. I didn't really get to this. They had over 6,000 boats on Lake Travis outside Austin last Saturday, and I was already set to do a live show here. I didn't go out there, but I saw how crazy it was. I guarantee you there's going to be aftershocks. Or maybe tomorrow. I bet there's 1,000 boats out there, that's what I'm guessing. So I'll be out there about noon to whenever. I'll do a live feed into the Infowars.com/show, and we will break it all down for you, because it's good to go out and celebrate. It's good to go out and have a good time. I see the Hodge twins, who I know behind the scenes and on air is always in a good mood and positive. And that's how I want to be. Cheerful about this, positive, moving forward, even if Trump loses, which I don't think is going to happen. We just keep fighting. The Hodge twins are my spirit animal, I think. And I hope to be their spirit animal. But we're all each other's inspirations, what I'm getting at here. And I get down, folks. I don't get suicidal. But when I read these type of articles, this is what I want to hit right now. I never get suicidal. I never want to die. But I actually feel weak. Like I don't have enough energy. Sometimes I'm up there at 6, 7 at night. And there's a huge breaking story, and I know it's important to fight, and I want to fight, and the spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak. And I just kind of go, God, I love you so much. I kind of know what it's like when my grandma at 90 years old said I'm not worried about dying. And it's not that I even want to die. It's just that I know the purity of Christ, and not being on this satanic plane must be amazing. But see, here's why you shouldn't commit suicide. I'm not saying I would. I don't want to. I'm not even in that same realm, but I can understand why folks are like that. Because you want to punch out of here. You want to get away from it. But listen, you're a grown man. You're a grown woman. You know what's going on. You have a responsibility to help innocents that aren't
that Richard and I are aware of.
And so quit worrying about how upset you are about what's happening and start worrying about other people. And it's going to be that process of worrying about other people, or maybe it's a couple plants you get that you take care of in your backyard, or a dog or a cat you take care of. That's why people that have dogs and cats don't commit suicide as much, because you got something that's dependent on you. And so I'm not up here preaching to people. I get why people.
Code 33 is where they carry chat.
At my level, not commit suicide, but just leave. Not do this anymore. Not stare into the face of evil. Let me tell you something. Let me try to quantify this. Every morning I wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and I go, I don't want to think about Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or Big Mike or General Mattis or Lord Rothschild. They're all, or Brina Abramovich or Tony Podesta. It's like I spend my life looking at them and looking at Netflix pedophile stuff. And at a certain point, I'm like, God, take me out of this. You know what I mean? But you know what? Those of us that care and have a conscience can see this and don't like it for a reason. And it's our job to stand up against it and say no to it. And so that's all I'm getting at is I'm not here bitching at you. I'm not here saying you need to do more. Believe me, I want to load up an RV and disappear. If there was some new country that was halfway free, I'd be gone so fast. This is a world government New World Order takeover. And we're not getting out of this. And I'll tell you right now, I happen to know the man upstairs. I know you all know him a little bit as well, or maybe more than I do, but I happen to have a little bit of a connection. And you don't want to stand in front of God and not fought the full fight. But I tell you, I'm a human. I tell you how I faltered, because I don't want you to think that you're weak because you don't want to fight these people. And I get it. It's not that you don't want to fight them because you're scared. They're so damn gross, man. They stink spiritually. They're disgusting people. And I know you don't want to focus. You want to focus on beautiful things, and you want to focus on pure things. But listen, here's the thing: the pure thing is under attack because you're not fighting the evil thing. So pull your metaphysical sword of truth and start hacking. This is going to come down to a fight over how many people are awake and how many aren't. They're going to contest the election. They're going to say Trump lost. They're super pissed that I'm on air.
I want them shut down. I want them silent. I want them muted. I think that's horrible for our society.
You kept us on air. We did the analysis first. It's now on mainstream. You continue to be the epicenter. And what they've said directly to us is you continue to be the epicenter of our plans not going the way we want. And you need to stop right now. And they're very, very very serious. Well, I'm not signing on with a bunch of devil-worshipping Southwest. It's not going to happen. So they are moving now to destroy me. I used to say support InfoWars, rescue InfoWars. Save yourself, save the world. We're in this together. Because let me tell you something. Communism's up here. InfoWars is the dam blocking it, which is all of us together supporting. And you and I are all down here with our families. My children are right here. But I need money to fight a war. And I need word of mouth. And I need prayer. And that dam's going to come down. From all of you, hell's coming.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cut-rights. You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
All right, if I could do this once a day, I'd do it. But if I don't do it, every couple segments, it'll be shut down. So I appreciate all the listeners. I appreciate all the viewers. And I'm about to hand the baton over to Dr. Nick Vegas. I'll just explain it this way. I do not treat my body well. I love to eat tons of red meat. I live super stressful life. I work 15, 16 hours a day, and I play hard sometimes as well. And so I tell you, take the supplements we sell. These are the very best out there, but I routinely forget to take my supplements for months. I'll get on them, have the little Lazy Susan on the table. I'll have them right here in my studio, and then they'll clean it off, and for 2 months I won't take it, and I'll gain 15 pounds. That's how important clean, pure iodine is with X2 or X3 or DNA Force Plus or these other products. And so they really are great products, but even if they were placebo, even if they were sugar, which they're not, they're highest skin you're going to get, they do fund this operation, which is really, really special. So the books, the films, the water filtration, high-quality herbal food, it's all at InfoWarsStore.com. And I've been asked by some smart folks and strategic people not to get into what's going on here, but I mean, I think you know for the last 5 days ago, under Chinese hack attack, and I have a lot of trouble holding things back from the audience, but then when I talk about it, the enemy uses it, it becomes an issue. But you've seen how they've been deplatforming people, not just off the internet, but how they've been deplatforming people out of banking and credit cards. So I'm spending a good 5 hours a day jacking around with that, and I'm kind of a whack-a-mole, but let me just say, it's 10 times the attacks we ever dealt with before. And at kind of a sick level, I'm like, well, they just shut me down. I got to lay everybody off, but I can at least take a break. But I don't want to take a break. But part of me does, like, God almighty, take a break. All I'm getting at here is this is really in-game stuff happening. And, you know, Trump's basically bankrupt because of this. They've attacked all his companies, all his things. And that's fine. We're not victims. We don't approach things as victims, but as champions and leaders in this fight. But I mean, it's not been fun. And so I've already mortgaged my house. I've already done it all to make sure we have just a month's operating capital off of what we got. I have pressed on everything I've done. I have funded 50-plus organizations over the years, covertly, with no strings attached. I thought they were good people. In many cases they were. Some cases they weren't. I'm just saying, you cannot bet in the crap game of life or the roulette wheel of life on a number like 1776 that InfoWars metaphysically represents. So I want to thank you all for your prayers, your word of mouth. This is important, but I'd be a liar if I didn't tell you that if we were like a battleship where we got fire shooting out the side, you know, cannonballs, you know, exploding and the whole 9 yards, which is fine. I always expected this, but 52 days out, the deep state, their whole system, I mean, you know what happened to, like, Romans where they take somebody's kid hostage and stuff like that? I mean, let me just explain something to you. Someday I'll be able to tell you all the stuff that's going on, and I don't feel sorry for myself. I just want you to know, it's a me, I'm a gauge, like a canary in the coal mine. And so, attacks before, like, you know, 50%, they're at 100% right now. The thermometer might break at the top. You know, Dr. Nick Vegas, he's not a victim, he's an overcomer. They killed his dad for giving Native Americans and citizens of Alaska part of their own land. So, I mean, a lot of people paid for what we've got. I'm ready to pay right now. I'm not even worried about it. I'm worried about myself and God and the rest of eternity. And, you know, like Vegas always says, people would give everything for the last 5 minutes of life till you're gone. It doesn't matter anymore. You've got eternity, and now time is worthless. So I already get that Zen understanding. But I'm just telling you, I can tell you as a gauge in a in a dashboard that this is the big one, folks. This is the big enchilada. The way we break these balls right now at the beginning of this pool game is going to affect the whole next level. And so your word of mouth, your prayer, your financial support, I would engage in it now, because it can be your last chance to get an InfoWars t-shirt. It can be your last chance to support us in the future, because I'm somebody that, has been very close to destruction a lot of times, but we've never been this close. And so I do need to go ahead and just tell you that, we're under attack. We're SOS. We're on fire in more ways than one. Spiritually, we're on fire. We're also on fire under enemy attack because we are in the fight. So that's my transmission. I want to thank you all. We'll have live coverage tomorrow of the next Trump vote rally, and I'll be back Sunday, Lord willing, with the 4 to 6 p.m. Sunday live with the Lawyer as well. Dr. Dick Begich, scientist, researcher, best-selling author, great patriot that takes over. So thank you, Dr. Dick Begich.
Alex, and I want to pick up right where you left off, because I think back how long we've been working together, and then about 2.5 years ago, the first time we actually met in person, I flew down to Austin.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and I spent a week with everybody and got to meet your team and who's there, and and just before then and since then, every Friday I volunteer my time. So what Alex is saying right now, I can tell you is the absolute truth. And I remember that day, that night at dinner, we're having dinner and we're talking, and Alex is always running 110%. And at one point in dinner, he goes, "Hey, break out the camera. We're going to film this." And I said, Alex, relax, because you're always working. And this is what the audience and people listening need to understand. It's not like, the day's over, the light switches off. It never ends. It never ends. He's doing like 110%. And then what happens, you're always running that speed, and at some point you need a little bit. At the end of the dinner, I remember we were walking out of the restaurant, and I put my hand in the center of your chest, and I said, Alex, you don't need to run 110%. So you've got 10% reserved to yourself, so you can have that reserve, and dish it out to your family and your close friends, and reserve that for you. And it's like you're tithing to your own temple, if you think about it that way. And you add about 10 years on to your life on the other end. You live longer because you're less stressed. But the audience right now needs to support the InfoWars and do something affirmative that is material, because that's the green gasoline that keeps the thing going. And the way it's done is the 360, and that's where everybody wins. So support the InfoWars, go to the InfoWars store, get something there that means something to you and can help you and your family, and do that today. So when it makes a difference to the InfoWars today. And I volunteer every Friday. I take my morning out, and I get ready for the program, and I do that. And I do that because 2.5 years ago I said, Alex, I don't want all the noise, the transaction noise, selling books and selling products. I just want to give content. I want to give something once a week. And would you please allow me to do that? And we've worked this out where I get to do that. And yeah, I still have some books and some videos, but they're only sold through the InfoWars store. That's it. The only place you can get them unless they're you. And because I want to support this network, what it stands for, what it's done for a quarter of a century, it's been about the InfoWars, for goodness sake. That's all it's ever been about. And it's, well, if you don't think it's about that now, you've not been paying attention to anything anybody's been saying for at least 25 years plus. I've been doing this. Quarter of a century, Alex been doing this. And the team that's on board in Austin, your team, is incredible. Everybody there, what they do, and the stress levels that happen up and down, as you're trying to get the story out and you're trying to get the information. And so do something affirmative. Last week I talked about what you can do, and kind of a script that can be followed. Do something in favor of yourself, your family, your friends. Extend to the InfoWars family too, and make something happen. And that's how we do it. We do it together. We're all that tip of that spear, and we're all making a difference in everything that we do, no matter how big or how small we think it is. And I've said it often. Do what you know you can do. That's the step of faith in life. Whether it's supporting this network or something else. Do something in favor of your own future and the future of those you haven't even met yet. The unborn, those that haven't even arrived yet. Do something for them. This is Dr. Nick Vegas. We'll be right back.
What if you could cut your heating bills this winter with your existing wood-burning fireplace and not spend thousands doing it? You can with Great Wall of Fire fireplace grates. Our U.S. patented, made-in-America Wall of Fire grates increase fireplace efficiency, eliminate fireplace smoke problems, and come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. See our grates in action and get free shipping from wallofire.com or call 800-274-7364. Fireplace heat without fireplace smoke. Wallofire.com. Attention radio listeners, if you're concerned about the coming chaos after the November elections, this will be an extremely important message. Here's why. No matter what the outcome in November, catastrophic social upheaval is a very real possibility. Here's why this is important. Listen, we all know that silver and gold have been historic hedges against the uncertainty.
Social chaos and unstable currency. But did you know that there's been times in the past, during times of extreme hardship, when Americans put another store of value above even silver and gold? It's true. Open pollinated seeds.
Ultimate store of value in the coming hard times ahead. Go to survivalseedbank.com to get heirloom seeds below wholesale. Visit survivalseedbank.com this week and get hundreds of dollars in free bonuses. Beat the coming chaos. Beat rising food prices. But above all, don't wait. Beat the crowds by claiming your own Survival Seed Bank today.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Are you curious about what might be missing from your diet and supplement choices? Take a free health assessment to identify your possible nutrient deficiencies. As a certified holistic health coach, I will help you assess and prioritize a supplement program based on Dr. Wallach's recommendations. Call Linda at 833-VITAL-90. That number to call is 833-848-2590. That's 833-VITAL-90.
We've entered a time where sky truly is the limit and opportunity awaits. The internet has become a platform of everyone's worldwide communications. Billionaires building businesses on platforms that didn't even exist a generation ago. But in the sea of noise, how can the voice of your business be heard? The secret is over 100 years old. Radio. 228% more effective than TV. That's 228% more effective than television. Brick and mortar and cyber businesses alike have found radio to be the most effective for building a brand and delivering customers. Learn the secrets of radio advertising by calling 877-996-4327 or email advertise@gcnlive.com. That's advertise@gcnlive.com.
With a MECTEC carbine conversion unit, you can turn an XP family Glock or 1911 handgun into a carbine rifle in seconds and have it shipped right to your door, no FFL required. Now, MECTEC is excited to announce our pistol carbine conversion unit. More compact with a 12-inch barrel and an arm brace, proving once again that MECTEC is the world's most versatile handgun accessory. For a limited time, go to handgunconversions.com. That's handgunconversions.com and use coupon code RADIO to receive $35 off any carbine purchase. From Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones in
And welcome back, and it's good to be here this Friday afternoon in most parts of the country. Still a little before noon here in Anchorage, Alaska. You know, thinking about just everything that's going on, and I know it's the anniversary of 9/11, and people have been talking about that already today, and I'm not going to go there at the moment, except to say that, you know, big opportunities are buried in bad news, you know, no matter what the heck it is. And when you think about this, what did 9/11 roll out for? It roll out the endless war, you know, it's like we drop back a few centuries into these 30-year, 100-year wars, you know. Alex was a history buff. My dad was a history teacher as a beginning point, you know, and history really defines a lot. In fact, I was talking about this book. It's the New American History by Woodard and W.E. Woodard. And this book, I ordered another copy because they're kind of hard to find because they printed the last ones in 1939. 37, and so they're a little difficult to find, but it's worth reading. And because it was pre-World War II, you know, after World War I, pre-World War II, the guy who wrote it, interesting, he finished it just before 1936, and so his perspective was really a different one. That's before the internet, you know. That's before most people had telephones. That's before TV. That's before where people listened to the radio. You know, that was, you know, radio was it. You know, that was a big entertainment. And so when you think about history, people used to read books that you can't change after the fact, like you can a story on the internet, right? Wikipedia, you can pull it out, push it in, dance it around, make it up. Who cares, right? I mean, that's history today. Obsolete book. Get yourself some, because they're really not, especially history. History's never obsolete. In fact, the perspective of a writer close to the time might actually be more useful if you can interpret it in the context in which it was written. You know, that's why, you know, being a bit of a scholar, you know, you think about things differently. And I got, you know, I suffered through a bunch of things, you know, and Alex has built a big organization with a lot of risk, and he's suffering through some things from time to time. You know, at one point in my public work, I lost everything. I had a bankrupt start over. That's 2002. Most people didn't know it, you know, so I started this work way before that, and I just kept on going. You know, I sort of hit a big speed bump, and so what did I do? I set up another way to make my living while I was continuing my public work, and I never stopped. And then I got blessed by some good things happening in my life, and I make a good living, so I can give a lot of time, and I do. And because that's the most valuable thing you ever have anyway. And that gets into my subject for the day. Because wealth and nonprofits and people like Gates and the big guys, you know, what's in it for them, right? And this is an important perspective. I've known a lot of very wealthy people, billionaires, in fact. I've known a bunch of very powerful political people. I've met presidents and vice presidents and congressmen, senators, and scads of people in power, big business leaders that own big chunks of the economy. I've met a lot of people in my life because of the nature of what I've done in my life. And then I read all the time. My fiance will tell you I read like 9 hours a day. That's what I do. That's my profession, actually, is to do that, condense information and pass it on to you. And then I make my living with my left foot, as one of my buddies used to say. And I'm very blessed in that because I get to do this. And here's what I learned about wealth. Wealth is about doing what you love doing, you know. And so you want to interpret people, interpret what motivates them. You know, and here's what motivates me. It's motivating you. That's it, you know, because I never organized the thing. You know, I don't have a big team. I don't have a team. I have you. And the people that work in InfoWars and the other networks that I work with. That is I always set it up that way. Why? Because I wanted to develop content and still reserve something so that I could keep being creative. Because this is what a lot of us miss, is It's the creative things we do with our most valuable thing we have called time. In the physical, that is the definition of living well with a living soul occupying the body is time slot. Hey, you get while you're here. Okay, so what I've been talking about a lot lately is not wasting your time slot and not feeling frustrated because you're not running at 110%. You don't need to do that. You need to run 90%. That's an A, right? It's an A. Good. Reserve 10% to your own temple. Your body. Your body. And be respectful of that. And then your body and the extension of it to your spouse. All right. And your family and your friends. Your extension in the earth of this thing that we're engaged in. You have it for them. And for you. And that's okay. It really is. And here's the deal. Then you're optimized. Then you're balanced and optimized. That's part of the deal. And you can go and weather the storm because you're in the middle of the storm. You're the quiet part of the storm. You're the eye of the storm. This is the power of it. This is the wisdom in it. And you are it. Each of us in this thing that we're doing together to change the reality of the world. Now, the other team knows this too, but they function through big organizations that they can then manipulate, infiltrate, screw with, whatever. I've always said from the very first day I started this, I would do it in a different way. A group of one, a committee of one, and I would energize a bunch of committees of one. That's you. Me, everybody else. Because at some level we're connected. But if we begin to act, out of something that pushes us, that we're passionate about in our living experience, we'll create very differently. And if we do it in a spirit of reverence, of divinity even, of recognition of the truth even of what we say we are and behaving that way is really the message in it. And the experience of it is how we project in the world. Now, here's the big guys at the top, Bill Gates. Once you accumulate wealth, and I talked about wealth enough another segment to define it, but I'll get into that a little bit before we get out of this. So I want to talk about the big guys and what motivates them as it relates to you and me, so that we can then recognize the power they recognize. Only if we can recognize it as a mass of millions, guess what? We win. We win. So the message in today's program is grabbing our power back, stopping the looting of the world, and pulling the pants down on the new world order, okay? Because it's time to wake up and smell the roses and change the game. This is Dr. Nick Begich. You're listening to InfoWars. And check us out, InfoWars.com.
You've always had a blend for me, and I said I'll come to you with truth, at least as good as my human temporal truth can get, because the Bible says we all see through a rose-colored darkly, kind of a foggy lens that distorts what we actually can perceive, so that everything we do is actually fallen sin. Everything we do is actually a twisted distortion of God's will. So when I tell you I'm telling you the truth, it's the best truth this fallen creature's got. I'll tell you it's all I got. And when I tell you this country and the world is under major satanic threat, you don't need me to tell you that. You can look out the window, you can look into your own family, you can turn on the news, you can see it. But you got this commitment. I do recognize the truth of God, so to you, we're going to win this fight. It's going to be hard. And I want to keep InfoWars in the main position to fight, and that only happens when you support what you've been doing. So again, I thank you. But go to InfoWarsStore.com, buy the product, spread the word, because that's how we're going to win. Again, I thank you all.
Today, many of us are paying attention to our health, and what we eat plays an important role. But so often the water we drink is a mere afterthought when it should be a primary part of our daily nutrition. Real Water would like to change how you think about the water you drink and how it can play an important role in helping your body restore balance and reach its full potential. The key benefits of every bottle of Real Water are stabilized negative ions, balanced pH, detoxification, and it hydrates you like never before. And yes, it tastes great. Real Water is beyond alkalinity, and due to its proprietary process called E2 technology, it's the only drinking water on the market that can maintain a stable negative ionization, which means real science in every bottle. Order your Real Water today and take advantage of special pricing for this audience only by calling 1-855-REALWTR or visiting buyrealwaternow.com. That's 1-855-REALWTR or buyrealwaternow.com. Order now, 1-855-REALWTR or buyrealwaternow.com.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, Medicaid, or have private insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. Managing your diabetes is crucial to your health. The new CGM can automatically and easily help you manage your diabetes more effectively. And by using a CGM, you can eliminate the one thing most people with diabetes dislike the most: finger sticks. Now you can automatically manage your diabetes and end the painful finger sticks. Solara Medical Supplies makes it simple for you to have a new CGM. We'll do all the insurance paperwork for you and deliver the newest in diabetic care technology right to your door. Take charge of your diabetes today with the help of a new continuous glucose monitor. Call now to learn more. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. 800-547-5331. That's 800-547-5331.
Now it's worse to stay at home. Public health concerns. The reality of illness due to pathogens and viruses. Your health is at an all-time high risk. That's why it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. You can with new nano-colloidal silver from Americare. Our patented process with tiny silver particles, 1/100th the size of a red blood cell, allows for maximum body absorption. Americare's nano-colloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it prohibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever, around $1 a day, but supplies are limited. Purchase nano-colloidal silver now at ImmuneSupportNow.com. That's ImmuneSupportNow.com. These products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind, with Nick Begich.
What a Friday. You know, here we are, 9/11/2020, and man, I was thinking about during the break a couple things to kind of pull a few pieces of the segments together. I got a email this week from a 16-year-old in South Carolina. Maybe he's listening even, and he asked me 3 questions. So I want to ask and answer myself those questions. And the first one he asked me was, in the state of affairs, you know, should I go to college? You know, I've been thinking about being a doctor or a lawyer, and I want to go into politics someday. And I'm thinking, wow. And he says, and I listen to you on InfoWars, and I'm thinking, being asked, the 16-year-old's asking me these questions, he's listening, and he's asking me, should I go to college? Should I invest in that? Is the world going to fall apart? You know, man, that's a pretty heavy-duty question, you know, and what do you say? And so I want to say it to everybody. I want to say, you have to know what's happening in the world, but you don't suspend what you're doing, like what's going on with this COVID-19 thing right now. You have to move forward because you don't know the hour and you don't know the day, and you know, and I've lived long enough to see enough the end of the world scenarios to know that, hey, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But behave responsibly, not in some panic party. So plan your life like you would. and do it prudently like you should. Don't get into a big student debt because you'll never escape it if things do fall apart. So be mindful, be sensible, approach it maybe a little differently. Don't rack up a big debt, and think about what you're going to get educated in and how you're going to get your education. And where do you want to get it? And I would advise something else to a 16-year-old or anyone else. Get a trade, truck driving, banging nails, carpentry, electrician, and a profession, engineer, business degree, whatever. Get them both. I've done things with my hands and my head my whole life. Alaskans kind of do this anyway if you live up here very long or lived out of the cities at all. And so you do both. And then you're a more equipped human being. Something that we lose sight of. And everyone's specialized to the point now where you can't even think about making it. I can. Because I've learned and I've gained skills. And I've collected enough books for what I don't know. And you see a little glimmer of it behind me. And read about 10,000. But I'm not suggesting you got to read 10,000 books. Be very selective, Make sure you got the right material on the shelf, You don't know how to survive, you better get some good books to tell you how and practice a few things. But the point of the matter is, the world has always been this way. There's nothing new. It's just not happened lately at home. It's happening everywhere else, somewhere else right now. If you travel a lot, like I do around the world, you see a lot of suffering in the world. And you thank God every day when you see it, up close and personal, what a difference it makes to live in the United States. Because the next question he asked me was, what country would you go to if the liberals take over and this thing gets even worse? Well, where would you go? Wow. Having traveled all over the world, I'm here. Okay. I'm here. I'm in the United States. Wow. Do I like parts of the rest of the world? Yeah, there's a lot of places I've been. I've been to 50 countries, a lot of them several times, and a lot of them I like to visit. I wouldn't mind living for a period of time in a lot of places, but no, I think I would stay here, even if it gets really nasty and bad, because the other parts of the world are really worse. And this one we might be able to hold and get back, and that's kind of where I'm at. Then the third question he asked me is, okay, if you believe in the United States and this is the only place we're staying, because he was thinking ahead, he said, what state would you go to? And now there's an interesting question, maybe the short list is which ones would you avoid, and hey, look around. I know Oregon, is rioting, and you hear about Portland, but a lot of parts of Oregon are very different. They're much conservative areas of Oregon. I know. I've been there. I've driven all through Oregon. Driven, with an automobile, I've seen all the United States by automobile, not by jet plane. And by jet plane too, of course. But the point I'm making is on the ground. On the ground, it's cities, clusters of places where the craziness is going on steroids. Now, in certain parts of the country, it spreads out pretty broadly, and I don't like what I see. And it's a national rollout. This is what also, it's a global rollout. Really, when I see it internationally, it plays out with a little shape of a little cultural massage, a little window dressing to make the picture look prettier than it actually is. Or you can say a bath, a hide behind, a way to obscure the view a bit, get you to look over there when you ought to be looking over here. But, thinking about this, I was going to talk a little bit about this. So, what state would I go to? You can evaluate where you're at. You can determine where you want to be. I like where I am. I live in Alaska. I hate the winters, I got to tell you. I've been through a lot of them, at 61 and being born here, but the winters are hard as heck, man. I mean, it's cold and it's dark. And the darkness is something that's hard to get used to no matter what, And it's a metaphor, right? I mean, we go from darkness to light, darkness to light. That's the cycle of Alaska, because we have the midnight sun in the summer and the darkness in the winter. And it's a metaphor for who we all are, right? I mean, we come out of our own darkness into our light. here we cycle through it every year, and here's what happens, okay, as people build, and I talked about wealth and what it is, and as people build wealth, it gets to a point where, hey, what do you need? What do you want physically, materially? And there's a point where you actually have it. You know, I live in what would be considered a middle class, maybe even a little lighter middle class, because I don't need any more than that. But it also makes my life a lot simpler, you see, because it operates really efficiently and allows me time. I get to keep my time and spend it. See, I spend my time as a priority. And I budget my time as a priority, and that's what we each get to do. And then we get to program it in. Now, when you get to retirement age and you have a fixed income, well, hey, then you kind of get this rebirth. I've witnessed it with a lot of retirees. And now you got time because your green gasoline is fueling your budget. So there's this, people with wisdom know this. It's the retirees that have the power of time. So you want to create political movements, retirees are your answer. You know, it's look for the blue-haired ladies is what someone told me once, and they're absolutely correct. Because it's about people who are committed to doing that make a difference. And when you get your time back, you get to do more. Now think about that from a Bill Gates perspective. Here's a dude that's got like all the money under the sun, so that money isn't so valuable anymore. But doing stuff with it is. Okay, because that's just how he creates whatever he thinks he ought to be creating. But he does it tax-free. Okay, he does it tax-exempt. He does it by screwing you and then BSing. Okay? This is what so many nonprofits do that you fail and we fail to see. Because we think about their public purpose. But what we don't think about is their public influence. And I want to talk about that because it's about the power of influence that creates outcomes. When big nonprofits get big money and can influence things a certain way, and there's only a certain way they can and a certain way they can't. And I want to talk about the rules of nonprofits and why they work against you and how they can work for you, but how the big guys use it to screw you and me over with their good work as they pave the road to hell with gold. And that's the story for today, for the last segment, going into the last segment. This is Dr. Nick Begich. We'll be right back.
Extendivite really works. Here are some reviews from Amazon.com. Nikki, great product. Have to try it for a few months to see results. After taking Extendivite for about 6 months, I have noticed improvement on the numbness of my hands and wrists from carpal tunnel. I will continue to buy the product. 10 Peaks, 5 out of 5 stars. Works as advertised. This formula is very powerful. Be careful to follow directions. I am feeling much better. My heart rate and blood pressure has stabilized, and my lower edema has reduced. Lower leg pain due to blood clots has disappeared. Thank you. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pound Arco Super Tea helps build the red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells.